Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the My Tarot morning reflection. You know, it's official. I've actually gone over 900 videos. So that's kind of like a wow. And had a really fun weekend. I did a class up in Frederick, Maryland. I think that everybody enjoyed it. It was a fun time. I love teaching tarot. So it was a good weekend. I hope everybody else had a pretty good weekend themselves. Uh-oh. Looking at one of my cards. It's starting to bend. Uh-oh. I hate having to fix cards and replace cards and stuff like that. But yes, so that was nice. I hope everybody else had that nice weekend. And here we are now on a Monday. It's bright and sunny outside here. I got my coffee. My life is complete at this moment. Which means I get a chance to listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Which is a reminder that it's just a chance to take a breath. You know, that's how I kind of describe this in the morning to people is just, it's doing a tarot reflection, but it's actually, most importantly, it's a reminder to take an extra breath before we start the day. So, and that always reminds us have our feet flat on the floor, have our butts do the kitty dance, get nice and comfortable, check in with the shoulder meter, see where our shoulders are, how about our necks, and then we can take that extra breath and see what the universe has for us. Or, as I like to say, this is where the universe holds up a mirror, asks us what do we see, and we can use the tarot as that reflection as we go into this Monday. Take an extra sip of happiness. And that extra breath. So, what am I going to do here? I'm going to make our 3 stacks. It's like each one's a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one of these is a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's as if each one of these is a different path, because this stack right here is going to lead down a totally different conversation as compared to this stack or the path that this one's going to lead us down. So the question is, which string do we want to pull today? Let's go right for the center one, or what I like to think of as what's right at the heart. Get that extra breath in. And I am going to do our 3 in 1. And with that, I'm going to flip each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. You know, this is kind of how I teach the class also. I do an example, though, with just 2 cards. But the main thing is just kind of like relax and get in that mode where we're not questioning what we see. It's trusting what's in the cards as opposed to what's in the books. It's just listening to that little voice in the back of our head. And the first card is, we have the 9 of Cups. So, cups are our spirituality, our emotions, and our feelings. Okay? And then 9s are about fulfillment. And some people here have heard me say this a million times, but I say it to myself also because it's a reminder that we use numerology in the tarot, and that from 1 to 10, if it was a race, 1's a seed, we plant that seed, we start moving. 2 is about balance. 4, so we have this 1 to 10 race. Well, 10 is not the finish line. 9 is the finish line. 10 is what we do with our winnings. 10 is where we're preparing to move on to something different. Now, with the 9 of Cups, we all have things in our lives that are good and some that are not so good. With the 9 of Cups, it's a chance to reflect on the good things that we've accomplished, where we are. It could be part of our relationship. It could be part of relationship with ourselves. But this is the positive things that we've accomplished within ourselves. And traditionally, sometimes this is even called the wish card. So today it's about reflecting on what we have, and it's not about what's in our bank. And then we have the Queen of Coins. So she's a court card. Court cards could be us, somebody else, or just part of the situation. But queens are the element of water. Queens are the emotions in the kingdom. Queens are the feelings, the spiritualities. She is that mother archetype. And as I always say, cards are not male or female. It's masculine energy, feminine energy. And look as she stares at that coin right there as if it's a seed. So we have the Queen of Coins. And so she is about planting the seeds, making our homes and our health and things like that, about finding that balance, about paying attention to it, about looking at the small things that sometimes we might even neglect. And then we have the next card, which is the Magician. So, as we look at this, we see the 9 of Cups. And it's almost as if we're looking towards the past. Here, we work to get where we are. And again, we all have things that will throw us for a loop, that we have issues with. Whether it's struggling to get out of bed or struggling through life. But still, we want to look at the things that help us get through that, the positive things that we have become. And again, the minors are the day-to-day cards. So as I like to say, a minor card is just a welcome to a Thursday. The majors, like the Magician, are our destiny cards, and it's what we're leading up to. So today, it's about reflecting on the paths that we have taken, as if this is almost like a map. The paths we've taken, the things we've overcome, the small things that we can celebrate, so that we can take this up as a seed. And I'm very much a Queen of Coins, again, because it's not male or female. It's that masculine energy, feminine energy. And it's about nurturing this seed right here. And we do that by reflecting what's in our heart, by looking at the positive things. So that ultimately what we do is we take what we've learned. We take the good, we take the bad, we take everything in between. And the Magician. The Magician has gathered all the tools that he needs. He's got coins, he's got cups, he's got swords, he's got a wand. And look at how he's almost studying the past as if it's like a painting. It's almost like he's looking at it and understanding, and then he's kind of measuring it with his wand right here, and he's about to do something within our home for our family. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, and right now this could be he's starting to prepare all the turkey stuff here. He's getting his pumpkin pie, all these things like that. As we reflect on where we've come from and where we're going. And let's take a look at the advice card. So today we have 2 majors, right? Because here we have the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is about acceptance, sacrifice, willing to see things in a different way. With the Hangman, you know, there are things that we know are right. There are things that we are willing to maybe even, dedicate ourselves to. And that's kind of like the Hanged Man, because this isn't a criminal right here. This person is being hung up for their beliefs. This was somebody who believed in something and was willing to fight for it, or willing to do what they had to. And maybe whether it was whoever it was in society, he was found guilty. He was not following what he should follow. And so that's why he gets hung up here. And that's why it's about sacrifice, acceptance, and seeing things different. So today, as we're reflecting here in the United States, we have a holiday coming up. But everywhere in the world, it's a Monday. It's reflecting on the path that we've taken and the positive things that we've created so that we can become like the Queen of Coins, which is essentially we create our own kingdom. I always say a kingdom is the size of a hula hoop. So as we're reflecting inside our kingdom, it's about weighing what we've done. It's about reflecting on where we are, and then taking the positive. And maybe there's things that we need to be willing to accept to keep growing. Again, how do we get to the Nine of Cups? We accept things the way they are. Courage to accept the things, and the willing to, courage to accept the things the way they are, and the willing to, serenity to accept the things the way they are. Wow. To accept the things the way they are. I'm going to have to look that up again. Wow. That's my brain. But it is about that. And then taking the seeds of whatever positive we can have and building from there. And then the advice card is about reflecting on this, on those positives, the sacrifices we've made. Sometimes whether other people saw it or not. And acceptance that, you know what, I'm where I am today because of where I am. And then building something positive from where we came from. So today, it's just about thinking about building something positive based on where we've come from. So, and realizing and accepting our sacrifices and what it took to get here. So, with that, good morning, Jenna. I hope you all have a great Monday also, and I'm going to try and have a fantastic week. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but we'll see what. But today I'm going to kind of see this as just one of those things as we build up towards the American Thanksgiving holiday. Reflecting on the past and building on what we have and just accepting, our sacrifices to get where we are today. So, take care, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow.
Stars in the